Dear Cancer, I really don't know how to begin a letter to you. You took so much from me, my confidence, my security, my first year of marriage, my identity, my youth, and so much more. You took all you could from me. You rattled me to my core, shaking up all I had ever known, showing glimpses of yourself constantly until it was too late to ignore. It was my wedding day when I first started noticing something was off. I had to leave my reception because I got sick to my stomach, but I just decided it was all the traveling and wedding festivities. Finally, on October 13th, I woke up and could no longer see out of my left eye. This is when I knew you were there, that my platelets were so low I would have a spontaneous hemorrhage, and that I was so anemic they didn't know how I was functioning. My husband, Jerry B., and I drove to the ER only to get lab after lab done because the doctors were in disbelief. After 7 hours of waiting and not knowing what was going on, the ER doctor took us into a room where he informed us I had some type of blood cancer. On October 16th, we had the pathology back from the bone marrow. The doctor was wrong. I did not have APL, the favorable type of leukemia. While my mom held me, he told us I had a very rare acute leukemia with a very poor prognosis. At this point, my family made the decision that I needed to be moved to a specialized cancer center. Through the countless prayers and help of others, I was blessed with the opportunity to go to the #1 cancer center in the US, MD Anderson, meaning I was not allowed to have anyone with me while I was inpatient. I had to say goodbye to my husband, and what I thought could be one of the last times I would ever see him. We said goodbye in the hallway while I was on my way to my room, and it was harder than anything I could have ever imagined when my nurse came in and had a come to Jesus moment with me. She told me she had previously beaten lymphoma, another type of blood cancer, and if there was any advice she could give me, it would be to stop crying and start thinking positively. I prayed with my family, friends, and nurses, which gave me the strength to change my perspective. From that moment on, I feel like my whole narrative with cancer changed. I had an entire female team supporting me, and that next day on October 21st, we found out I did not have the rare type of leukemia. 3 weeks after my first round of therapy, I had found out my bone marrow was in complete remission, which was a shock to everyone. Although I had to continue therapy to make sure the cancer didn't come back, I had never been so thankful and relieved to know that I could beat you, cancer, and I would. But I also had some very bad days. I got 4 blood clots in my arms from my central line. I battled multiple rounds of blood infections and fevers. I lost the ability to walk, and I had to go weeks without seeing any of my loved ones while I was inpatient. After 170 days, I finally got the official word that I was free of cancer on April 1st, 2021. As excited as I was to know I had beaten cancer, I was terrified to play the waiting game. I'd been fighting cancer with constant chemotherapies and immunotherapies for 6 months. How would I answer when people tell me that they have been praying for me and that I'm a miracle? Thanks did not seem like enough for what all these people had done for me. And at the same time, I didn't know how to describe what the past 6 months had been like for me. I felt like I couldn't relate to my friends anymore, and sometimes even my husband. Coming home was a harder transition for me than I had anticipated. During my treatment, I was with my parents 24/7 and my husband on the weekends. I didn't get to see my friends or do normal 20-something-year-old things. I was no longer the same person I was in 2020. I didn't want to see people and share my story. I knew most everyone in Memphis and Kansas City knew me as the girl who had leukemia. I desperately wanted an identity apart from my cancer. With my therapist's help, I learned that although I didn't want to be defined by cancer, it is a part of my story. I needed this cancer journey to mean something more and to have purpose. I ended up getting a call from St. Jude Children's Hospital asking if I was interested in working there. I decided this was the perfect opportunity to find my purpose in my story. I took a leap of faith and decided to work at St. Jude directly with cancer patients. I feel strongly that if I can share my experience and if I can fight and beat cancer, that hopefully someone will find hope and strength through this story. Cancer, you showed me how important it is to have faith in God. Without my faith and the many prayers from family, friends, and people I don't know, I would not be here today to share my story. So thank you, cancer, for beating me down to show myself that I can get back up. And more importantly, thank you to all those who helped me do it. Because of you, cancer, I will spread kindness and love to so many in the same ways I received it. Love, Madison.